Hi, this is Jesse Barkasy. It is Monday, December 29th at 11:59, almost 12 midnight. And I just got quite a few hits for me anyway on this video about John Jones versus Daniel Cormier for UFC 182 predictions. So I thought I'd just do a little addition one. Little background about me. I'd done martial arts since I was 12 years old. I wanted to do it since I was 5. I'm 46 now. And so I try to, guesstimate who I think would win. And even then, since it's 25% chance, I get surprised quite often. So what I believe is the formula for people who win the UFC fights, the MMA style fights, is 50% endurance, power, and speed, 25% skill, and 25% luck. That's what pretty much I think the basic formula is how people win in MMA fighting. So again, endurance, power, and speed. So they last through the match. They've got some power and they've got speed. That's 50% of the whole, whether they win or lose. And I think 25% you add skill to that. And the last 25% I think is kind of luck. You get a lucky punch. The person doesn't feel great that night. They move the wrong way or whatever. And so my thesis on thinking why Cormier is going to win, I'll just give it quickly. And I'll give how he could lose also. But I think that pretty much when I seen him fight, the one drawback is that I didn't see him fight a lot of guys on YouTube. Okay, I probably saw 5 to 6 fights, maybe 7. But what I did see is it didn't seem like he got tired. It seemed like he almost got more energy as the fight went along. And then I saw him fight Henderson, who is, an experienced MMA fighter and wrestler too. And he was just throwing him around like a rag doll pretty much throughout the match. And I was kind of stunned seeing that. Then I seen him fight heavier as he was pretty much overweight. And it just seemed like he got more and more power and speed as the match went along. So there's something about his build. I don't know if it's his height or whatever that keeps him from getting tired. But I know wrestling, to me, wrestling and swimming are two of the top power kind of endurance trainings that I think are the top. I mean, not like endurance like long distance, but for short burst, 5 and 10 minute time frames, maybe 30-minute time frames. Wrestling and swimming, to me, are just the hardest endurance sports there is. If you ever wrestled, I've ground fighted before, jiu-jitsu. I didn't call it jiu-jitsu, but the holds were jiu-jitsu-like holds that we did when I had a martial arts school. And it's just very tiring. Your muscles get swollen, and if you're too big, your muscles will get so swollen that your heart gets tired quicker. So for bigger people, the MMA rules of shortening the times and having rounds works in their favor. But John Jones, when I saw him fight Gustafsson, which was an amazing match. I mean, really, I know I complain about Dana White not having the Silva, the Anderson Silva, John Jones match, but really just he's pretty much a master of putting these matches together. He's unbelievable, and that's why he has the top, MMA fight card in the world, pretty much, the fight company. So, but when I saw Jones fight Gustafsson, I saw him get tired. And I was very, kind of surprised at that point. He still pulled through. He still kept fighting. And, even though he was tired, he still fought very hard. When I saw Cormier fight, it just looks like he gets more energy for some reason. It's very strange. So some people just have different body types. And what Cormier reminds me of is just a solid little pit bull compared to the height. He's not little because he's, heavier than John Jones, but for his height, I think that compactness gives him very good balance. He's fast, very fast. I think he's faster than Jones, even though Jones has the reach. So what I think is going to happen is I think he's going to go in on him, punch, 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 takedown, or takedown and then ground and pound. I think that's going to be the formula for him to win. Now, the formula for him to potentially lose would be staying in the exact range where Jon Jones could reach him and he cannot reach Jon Jones. Another formula for failure, I believe, would be if Cormier tries to, do a high kick on Jones, trying to reach above his, legs. Maybe, above his chest. He could kick him in the stomach, in the legs, potentially, and get away with it. But I wouldn't if I were him. I would, if Cormier, I think, should just go right in, expect a punch or an elbow to come at him while he's going in, block it out of the way, boom, come under. Or maybe 2 blocks. He might have to block 2 punches and be careful of the knee, and bam, bam, punch, take him down. And that's how I think that Cormier is going to win. He's going to get him down, and I don't think Jones will be able to get up because I think Cormier is just too skilled at keeping him down. Okay, now, what can go wrong on Cormier? If he comes in and he runs into an elbow, if he runs into a knee, if he stays out of the range of Jones and lets him keep hitting him strike. If he comes in as Jones is turning around and tries for a takedown and gets an elbow, that's how he can get hurt, badly. If Jones temporarily gets an advantage on the ground, or, even if they're side by side and he gets an elbow in there, he could potentially knock out or hurt Cormier very badly. But if it's not down to the luck, I think Cormier's faster. I think he's more powerful. I think he has more endurance. I think he has all 3. So I think 50% is going to go towards Cormier. I know Jones is younger, but I think the endurance, because of the wrestling for Cormier, is going to be higher. And the base of, the short base he has to keep his balance. So the next thing is skill. Well, in wrestling, Cormier has the highest skill. And I would say ground fighting too. He's going to get him down. He's going to punch. So there's a skill set for Cormier. The skill set for punching and kicking and elbowing, I think that definitely goes to Jon Jones. And if I had to, say this is a martial arts match, so I can give that little bit of skill edge to Jones because it's martial arts, but it's hard for me to do that, so I'm not going to. I'm going to say 50-50 because of the so high skills, the high level skills of Cormier's wrestling. Just unbelievable. Okay, now luck. That's the factor. So Jon Jones, and this would partially be skill too. So, you could weigh that in. If he just gets him with the right elbow strike or the right punch, that's where his skills of striking are gonna beat Cormier. And if when Cormier takes him down many times, which I think is going to happen, or he's going to take him down once or twice and just keep him down until he gets tired, I just think he's going to dominate him. I don't think Jones will be able to do anything but keep trying to get up. I think he'll get himself tired out trying to get up, and I think Cormier is just going to ground and pound him. So that's my view of how it's going to happen, and I just think that Cormier, because he looks fat, people are, he looks like kind of pudgy. People are kind of misjudging and not watching his moves, not watching how he beat these past guys that he's beaten, how easily he's beaten them. He just hasn't beat him. He's beat him easily. I don't even know if he had a bruise on him after he leaves these matches, for goodness sake. That's how crazy it is when he wins. So that's what I'm looking at. And Jones is, bigger, taller. His muscles show more. And I think that's a big mistake when you're looking at that. Now, the thing to look at Jones in his favor that's not a mistake are his elbows. His elbows and knees and, somewhat punches. But the punches not as much as the elbows and knees. Those are the things that can finish Cormier. The thing that will finish Jones, in my opinion, is going to be the ground and pound, and I think he's just going to keep trying to get up, and he's not going to be able to. And he's going to try to fend him off. He'll probably fend him off and not let him take him down a couple times, but I think Cormier eventually will get him down. Not eventually. I think he'll get him down every round that they fight. And I think my prediction is that by the third round, it could be the first, but my prediction is by the third round, Jones will be so tired and Cormier will just be punching him. Either he'll get knocked out, the referee will stop it, or he'll tap out because he's getting hit too much. That's what I think is going to happen. Because I think once they get on the ground, I don't see Jones being able to do anything. I mean, he'll be able to somewhat fight back because he's an experienced fighter, but not with the wrestling practice that Cormier is doing. He's practicing with a gold medalist wrestler right now. You can't see it. And he's used to fighting people, 10, 20, 30, 50 pounds heavier. So I think he'll be able to pretty much throw Jones around if he wants to. So that's my view. And, definitely been wrong before. So we'll see what happens. But an interesting discussion, and a shout out to you guys who commented. Louis Lau, Turtles, and Slapstick. He got a really good discussion. Slapstick seems to know what he's talking about, and so he's got me a little worried. He's sticking up for Jones. So shout out to you, Slapstick. Let's see what happens on January, what is it? I think 2nd or 3rd. I forgot already. But anyway, I'll go to probably a sports bar to see this match because I don't go out too much, but this is very interesting to me. And the people are saying, a lot of wrestlers have come into the UFC and done this, but, I know that, but this guy is just, there's something about him that is very strange about Cormier. He's just got some odd freak physique, freak power in him that I think he could win. So we'll see what happens. All right, have a great night, and I hope you guys enjoy this.